Hello. 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 Hey guys. Anyway. Oh, yeah. The body's in rough shape. I had like terrible sleep. Not sure why. Nothing particular happened. Just rough sleep. Bad sleep. Bad times, bad sleep. Alright. What are we doing? Hey, it's really dark already, huh? Good. Maybe something a little less. There. Help a little, maybe. Alright. Welcome. Well, there's only a handful of you here. It's pretty normal for a Thursday. Nobody really wants to come to these. That's why if I'm going to cancel any, it's usually this one. It's usually when I'm the most tired as well. And I come to you with nothing to provide, nothing to talk about. It's more for an opportunity to hopefully, but it rarely happens, have some outside influence from some Zoids out there that are watching this live. Right now there's only about 4 of you But suggestions in chat, people jumping on the annex and just talking to me because I don't really mind if anybody wants to jump on. I have a convo about anything essentially, but if you have questions that are mental health related, schizoid related, schizo spectrum related, that kind of stuff, or you just want to share some stuff going on with you and you want my take on it, or you're curious about me for some ungodly reason, I pretty much will answer almost any question. I just pretty ambivalent about the whole thing as far as like answering questions. Hey, Sarah. Looks like you're here. Hello. But yeah, that's basically what Thursday's for. You bring something to me, and see if we can get a ramble started.
Sorry if you're talking. I forgot to plug in my headphones because I'm an idiot.
Okay. All right. What were you saying? What happened?
I said sorry if you're trying to talk to me earlier. I had my headphones unplugged.
Oh, okay. You don't have to apologize. I'm gonna choose some bubblegum. That sounds good, actually. I like this flavor of gum. It's the Icebreakers Ice Cubes ones, but it's called Minty Crystal. I like it because it's like a smooth mint. It's not like spearmint, or it's like that soft mint flavor. I dig it.
Wait, there's soft mint and spearmint?
It's like, I don't know how to describe it. It's just a softer mint. It's a little bit sweeter and less of a zing to it.
Yeah.
It's nice though.
I love mint stuff. Like,
It's pretty good.
I don't know.
Start doing ASMR chewing. It's gonna be third. Maybe I should just change Thursdays to like schizoid ASMR. Schizoid ASMR. It's just a bunch of sighing and stuff. Just a bunch of.
You're just like giving them existential horror by like whispering to them. Just like.
Just a bunch of sighing.
Yeah.
Just doing shit like that. Mumbling to myself. Shit like that. There you go. I don't know. Like, I've been thinking about wanting to do something different on Thursdays because nobody uses this. Like, there'll be times where like there'll be 12 people here. Literally, I'm like, what do you guys want to, like, anything, whatever's in your stupid head, and everyone's just like sitting there watching me just like do nothing. It's pretty
torment
funny.
in the silence.
The what?
You just like torment in the silence, I guess.
I'm not a fan of silence, only because it makes too much room for my like internal monologues.
Hey, hold on, my cat is trying to bust in my room. I'll let her in 1 second.
Your cat? Okay. So what's up, guys? There's 6 of you here. You're listening, you're watching. Hello, Happy Landfill. I like that name. The happiest of landfills. Basically, Thursday is supposed to be Head Empty Thursday, where people just say whatever, bring up whatever subject is in their head, and I participate with that subject that's in their head. Maybe you could fill my empty head. But if you're coming here expecting me to fill your empty head, well, you are sorely mistaken, because that's usually not what happens on Thursdays.
Yeah.
I'm pretty burnt out by Thursday every week. Work, just life. A lot of crazy stuff today. Oof. Fuck today. I had an incredibly rough psychology appointment today. Oof.
Oh,
It was
yikes.
a big fucking oof of a psych appointment today.
I went today too, and it always takes energy out of me.
Well,
I
yeah,
ended up
because you're
accidentally falling
strained.
asleep afterwards.
Oh, I know.
Like,
Sleeping? Fuck. I wish it relaxed me enough to sleep.
it doesn't relax me, but
No?
like,
Just
I
more
don't
like
know. Like
exhausted?
sometimes I just sleep. I sleep when I'm stressed out.
Mm,
It's like a way for me to unplug. But like, I have a hard time
gotcha.
doing it at night sometimes.
Yeah.
It's
Nah,
usually
like,
not on purpose.
no. No, psych appointments are usually whatever for me. It just depends on what's being discussed. And right now I'm like digging into some like super heavy shit. Like, and it's just like, man,
I'm sorry.
why are you sorry?
Well, like, not like
Oh,
personally
you're just
sorry. Like,
saying
I
that
don't feel like I did
you're
something
you're
wrong,
doing
but
the
like,
thing. You're doing the
well, like,
phrase.
I don't like seeing people like, I don't know, struggle with shit. So,
Yeah, you struggle with enough yourself. You ain't gotta be sorry. You got your own shit.
well, yeah, I guess like sorry is the wrong word. But like, I don't mean
Yeah,
it
it's
in that
always
way.
no, I
Like,
know. It's just always been like weird. I'm sorry.
yeah,
Probably because when it's usually said, it just feels so fucking hollow. You know what I mean?
yeah. I mean, like, the problem is like, I feel like a lot of people don't know what else to say sometimes.
It's better
Like for
just to not
me,
say anything, you know? I
yeah.
don't know. Sometimes. Then if you don't say anything, sometimes people think it means something too. So can't win.
No.
But what you been up to, Sarah?
Nothing really, nothing exciting. Just basically sitting in my apartment, working remotely, and
Work been okay?
no, I'm trying to find something else I want to do that I'm actually would be excited to do, but I'm like coming short on ideas right now for
You
things
know,
I could try.
I feel you on
And
that.
it's just like, is this gonna be my life forever? Just like working a desk job?
You're gonna be a wage cook for the rest of your life.
Yeah. At least I'm like at home right now, but
True.
that
I
might
mean, that's
like
how
if
I
I got
feel
like a
about it.
permanent job with my org, I would have to go like to the offices, you know?
Ugh. No thanks. Yeah, I would. I couldn't. I can't even imagine doing my job that I do right now in an office with a bunch of people. My God, that sounds terrible.
It's yeah, it's the worst.
It's just so grim when I can unironically say that COVID-19 was one of the greatest things that ever happened. That's so grim
Yeah.
because it just opened up so many like remote type work and remote shit, which is exactly what I need to be able to like function better. I needed a
I ended
long
up
break from people.
ended up hurting me just because like I was going through like a lot of like life transitions at the time. I don't know if it was specifically COVID. I mean like
Hmm.
it didn't really affect me so much as like I don't know, I just kind of became more overtly like disinterested and I don't know, I just became a lot more paranoid about things and like especially like the COVID disease itself. I was like worried about getting it and stuff. And then
You never got it?
yeah, I did. I ended up getting it. But like when it was like first going on, especially when we didn't know like what was going on,
Yeah.
I I don't know. I would like catastrophize stuff a lot. Like even with like the Ukraine war stuff, like I started like ducking sometimes when I heard planes, or like my heart
Yeah.
would race if I saw like someone typing nuke or something. Like if like watching a live stream and someone says nuke or something, I would literally like start to have a little bit of panic, and I'm like checking stuff. I'm like, is there a nuke? I'm like, okay, there's not a nuke. But
Paranoia creeping up on you, huh?
I go through like periods like that, and then I go through periods where I'm like, I'm just fine usually. Well, like not fine, but
Yeah.
not like paranoid.
I don't think I'm chewing too much. I just realized I'm getting all loud with the chewing. It really is turning into an ASMR stream. Um, Everyone's leaving. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm not here to hear you chew. Um, but hey, is the stream like acting stupid?
Let me see. Like I'm like I have it open.
It's like YouTube's being stupid and like telling me stuff. No,
It seems to be fine. I think.
it's weird.
Like it's weird for you.
No, it just it like occasionally tells me like that it's not fine, but I guess it's okay. I'll see why it wouldn't be.
It's
Nothing's
being
changed.
histrionic.
Yeah, wants a bunch of attention.
I don't know. I always like wondered like, is histrionic personality disorder like a distinct thing, or is it kind of just a remnant of like sexism? I don't know.
No, because then you can make the same argument with stuff like BPD. I think the way that people present it can be a little bit like that, but I don't think the condition itself is not worth noting or just a construct or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's plenty of histrionic men. Well, shit, I've met a few.
But they definitely don't get diagnosed as much.
No, but there are also the possibility that because of a combination of temperament and social constraint, they may like just have an easier time keeping that shit in check, or like keeping it more low key, like that impulse, the stuff that comes with it. Yeah, it's kind of like that whole thing with what is it, soft BPD or quiet BPD? Sorry, there's people out there with quiet BPD where like they don't display externally the characteristics of BPD, but they go through a lot of emotions internally, hidden from view. So,
Yeah, but like, doesn't everyone go through a lot of emotions? I mean, like, I
well,
don't know.
it's a little different than just going through a lot of emotions.
I feel like it'd have to actually affect like how you act,
Oh
though,
yeah.
right?
No, it would just have to affect your mental health and then affect your life via those avenues. You don't have to
Well,
like.
yeah, of course, like behavior is connected, but like, I don't know, some people like are just like really emotionally sensitive, but I wouldn't describe them as like having BPD or something like
Well,
that.
no, being BPD isn't just about emotional sensitivity.
Right.
It's about like
Rejection sensitivity and stuff like that.
and
But that's like
yeah,
also common if you're just
crippling rejection
been
sensitivity.
traumatized ever.
Yeah,
You know?
it's a crippling rejection sensitivity attached to um, like it's like an anxious attachment style mixed with crippling rejection sensitivity associated to whatever individual is making that person feel safe and wanted at that given moment or time.
The problem I have with BPD really is like not that, I don't know. I have multiple problems. One, I feel like it's too broad. it like describes way too many like different sets of symptoms that you could have.
Hmm.
Um, and I think I don't know, like so like that's one, I guess. Like it just like sometimes not descriptive. Two is like people, well, especially therapists, when they see the diagnosis, they end up giving up on the person and thinking they can't change
Well, that's stupid.
because they have this.
That's a
Yeah,
skill issue on their part.
but it's just like the reality of like being diagnosed with it is that like, and it also like that belief, I think also makes it more likely for the person with BPD or who has been diagnosed with BPD to not believe that they can get better, and so they end up like having like a self-fulfilling prophecy, right?
Sure, to some degree. Yeah, I mean, some of that, some of the way the institutions approach, as well as how online culture, social culture approaches different kinds of issues like that. Yes, they can definitely exacerbate the situation because of the assumptions that are made and how those assumptions have an impact on that person's life that's negative when they're already struggling with what they're dealing with to begin with. So yeah, it's um it's definitely no bueno. Like I don't know. A lot of the same issues come with when it comes to SCPD though. It's more like a lack of even knowing that it exists. So it doesn't even have negative stereotypes associated with it that are like culturally like known, except maybe in niche online circles where they talk about
What about
psychology.
BPD?
No, schizoid stuff.
Oh, yeah,
Like
yeah.
so, like it's a different kind of like what like schizoids don't even have a stereotype that's like perpetuated. There might be stereotypes within the institutions or within the online community to talk about psychology and things like that, but it's not like the average person.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just gonna assume you're schizophrenic because all they hear is schizo. So there's that.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Like if you were to like look up like schizoid on TikTok or something, I don't use TikTok, but I'm sure you just
well,
find like
now maybe you can find something. You'll find my ass out there. I don't upload
yeah.
anything to it, but
Wait, you think it? Wait, are you on TikTok or like someone else uploaded you?
no, I made an account and I was gonna start doing like shorts from this. Like I was interested in doing shorts from the stream
Yeah.
of stuff that like might be useful, um, just to have another avenue. But yeah, I don't have the
You should
volition.
have like the conversations. Like you should take clips from like your YouTube channels, like the conversations you've had with
Yeah, that
like
stuff could work.
Doctor.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
want more recent stuff, and I haven't been able to get a hold of. It's been a tough time trying to get people. I don't know why. It just has been. Um, but even like when we have like good conversations on here about whatever, like I think clipping that would be good. But like I said, I don't have time to go back through my streams. I've had people offer me like, oh, I'll do it, but you know, Zoids be like, they'll get like a little fucking window of I guess what for them would be like almost manic volition, and then that
Immediately give
quickly,
up on it.
yeah, they'll like want to help out like, and I obviously can't resent them for being like I'm gonna help and then just disappearing because that's just kind of what we do.
Yeah.
That's why I tell them ahead of time. It's cool. Like if you decide never mind or whatever, like it's fine. Don't worry about it. It really is. But I also don't have the time or the energy to like do it myself, to like be clipping myself and
Well, like you just don't have the time to like be finding like digging through like your
yeah,
footage,
my
right?
streams, yeah, to like just clip it and then upload it and like
So that's
it's
all you need, right? Because like you
yeah,
have the account, they could just send it to you and then you'd
yeah.
upload
But
it to
that's what I'm saying.
TikTok.
I've had those kinds of offers. And I don't really take them seriously anymore because it's just
Yeah.
that's kind of like the it comes with the territory of being somebody that tries to talk about this stuff, and it's like mental illness, mental health, neurodivergency type related issues, and Yeah, you're just gonna get a lot of temporary, uh, I guess, excited people about something. Um, yeah, it's tough. It's tough. I wish I had the energy to like all do it all myself, but I just don't.
Mm-hmm.
I can't. Like if this was some full time job just doing this, then yeah, I'd like make it happen. But fuck, I can't. I'm not working 40 hours and tending to a family and all that kind of shit. Like I can't do it. But yeah, I was just thinking about that a little bit. That's interesting. Yeah, so I kind of abandoned that TikTok. Yeah, I'm just sitting there. Like it sucks because like I'll have like these ideas for stuff, and then I'll think,
Yeah.
but I try not to get excited about them. And then other people
Because
bring
do you feel like you're
ideas.
gonna give your hopes up, like it's not gonna work, or?
I just don't want to. I yeah, it's a little bit of that, but also just like I just feel like I can get preposterous sometimes with my idealism. So
Oh, it's like fantasizing too much, maybe, or?
thinking, oh man, okay, this is gonna happen, and we're gonna do this, and this is gonna, and then there's like all this shit that basically makes it not possible, and then I'm just like
Mm.
disappointed shit, and I'm like, I should have known
So when it
better.
like
What the
falls
fuck
short
were
of
you
that
doing?
idealization,
Oh, it
you
falls
feel like,
completely short, yeah.
yeah.
But even so now I just don't idealize any of it. I just go, okay, well if it happens, it happens, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. Because I mean, I'll do what I can on my side, but yeah, it's like this. It's weird. It's a weird situation. When it comes to this sort of stuff, like how do you? Oh, hold on, my daughter. I is out of focus. There, I is back. Let me see here. Duck. I never heard about SCPD until several months ago, and I've been exposed to surface level mental health info for decades at this point. Yeah, see what I mean? It's
Mm-hmm.
hard. It's like, man, it's such a fucking tough demographic to just deal with. Like, how do you like advocate for a condition that makes people generally not want to advocate for anything, or get their ass in gear for anything. Like
Mm.
even the very people um that I want to put shed light on, advocate regarding, are like often uninterested in the advocacy itself, or they just want to be like, they don't want anyone to shine a light on it because they don't want to be seen at all. So it's like
That honestly makes sense, like to me, like
it's a
I could
mess.
see why a lot of schizoids would almost like rather have the diagnosis be elusive in itself, like to the general
Yeah,
public.
but but that's not good for the mental health of the people that go
No.
to, like, there. It's just more. It's kind of enabling, um, in many ways, of the issues that come with it. It's so crazy. It's so fucking crazy.
Are you worried? Well, like, I don't know. Like, are you worried that you enable people in some way, or like,
I don't,
right?
but the idea of like promoting that we should just stay hidden forever is like that.
Oh yeah, I don't promote
That's
that.
no, I know, but that would definitely be, that's a no win solution right there. But it's
I don't know. I don't think that'd be very common because, like, ultimately, I think if you are schizoid and you're diagnosed schizoid, you realize that, like, you much rather not have it, you know?
or aspects of it. And then problem is
Yeah.
too is that like the scraps of self that the often schizoids can find, they'll kind of integrate it and they'll interweave it with like the defenses and the issues that come with it, and then it's hard for them to picture one without the other, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like people think that, like when I say something like, if somebody's never heard me and they hear me say something like, oh yeah, I want to like I want to talk about and say things and figure out ways that like schizoids can recover from many of their issues. Like somebody might hear that and they just might think I'm immediately saying, "Oh, you know, you're gonna be social and you'll love it and you'll be like everyone else." And like it's like, nah, it's not the same at all. God damn. And
Yeah.
because that's not what I'm talking about at all. Or that you're gonna like learn to love people or be around people like everybody else. Like, nope. That's crazy. That's crazy. I can't even do that shit. Like, and I've been working at this forever, but I'm doing a lot better in a lot of departments that I'm really glad I'm overcoming. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's still a tough time though. But whatever. Like, I wish they would just come on here and just like start, I don't know, anonymously dropping shit in the chat about what the fuck is, what's fucking with them right now that week. A weird thought,
Yeah.
a weird emptiness is fucking with them that week. And like, it's
For me, I felt like I've just been dealing with so much, like, purposelessness, you know? Like, I don't know. Oh, you good?
yeah, it's one of those emergency. Missing an endangered adult. Um, oh, all right. Well, I guess that's good. It's probably some older person that got lost or something. Usually, when it says missing adult, it's usually like, grandpa or
Yeah.
grandma wandered out of the house.
Hey, did it not say, like, the age?
No, it just says missing endangered adult.
Oh. Well,
No,
it's saying not
no offense,
descriptive.
but
Like,
I'd rather see that than missing kid.
oh, yeah, for
I'll
sure.
take that. Um, yeah, yeah.
Like, for me, I'm having a hard time. I don't know. Like, for you, you feel like. Well, last time I kind of talked to you sort of about this, I think you said, like, your purpose is to, like, help other schizoids and stuff like that.
Who
And
is
you felt like,
mine? I said that about
yeah,
me.
uh, I believe you did,
Yeah,
right?
it gives me purpose. I don't know if it's the purpose, but yeah, it gives me
Right.
some purpose. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah, you're right. It's not like the purpose, but
Yeah, I got.
yeah, I can't find the purpose either.
I don't think there is the purpose. I think it's all constructed out of a bunch of pieces and things that have a purpose. You figure out what those few, like handful of things are, and you put some
Yeah.
gasoline into that, and hopefully not light it on fire, but actually drive the damn thing. Um,
I mean, I think there probably are things I care about,
yeah,
but I also feel like they're just it's it,
it's daunting.
it feels nonsensical at the same time to even care about it, you know? Like
No, yeah, for
about
sure.
anything.
Yep, yep. It's the internal struggle that a lot of schizoids deal with when they have to combat their fatalistic fatalism and sort of unproductive forms of nihilism, shit like that. Um, and also like the I was talking to my psych about it, but the externalizing like internal purpose,
Hmm.
ironically, because of how how much of an internal world most schizoids have going on. It's humorous that like in the process of developing like the purpose of developing such a like potent internal world, monologue, thoughts, whatever you want to call it, doesn't have to be daydreaming, shit like that, but it can be. Um, it's like this. It's being done to search for purpose in the external world, and it's so weird. It's so weird. Like I think a lot of schizoids would be surprised at how much time they actually spend searching for purpose in the external world, even if it's inside their own mind. They're constantly like
Yep.
absorbing and eating information and various things in order to find something, try something, fill that void. And
Well, it's like it's almost like a like the amount of information at least I take in sometimes is almost like how a person would like binge eat to deal with their emotions or something, you know?
mm-hmm. Yeah, binge learning, binge thinking.
But
Yeah.
sometimes like when I'm like really deep in it, I can't even like learn shit, but I'm still like bombarding my head with information. I'm just like rotting sometimes. You know, it can get bad. Like I'll just be
Rotting inside your own mind. Yep.
yeah, like I'll have like three different trains of thought going on at the same time,
Mm,
but I'm not like
not doing shit.
yeah, I'm not doing shit and I'm like also well like actually sometimes I am doing shit
Mm,
and I'll have like things going on like or like sometimes I'll be thinking and I know that I'm thinking, but
mm,
it's like there's a separation between me and whatever thoughts that are happening in my own brain, if that makes
mm-hmm.
any sense.
Yeah, I know.
Like
Yeah,
I don't know if anyone else has experienced
I'm
that or
pretty
that's just
sure
me, but
that's
like
pretty common for the old Zoids out there. I'm fairly sure that's common. Like this kind of disjointment of thought and action. Yep.
yeah, and what's really frustrating, I'll be in therapy and I'll have certain thoughts, but I
Mm,
won't be able to communicate any of them. Or like I'll be in the middle of communicating a thought and then I'll just stop. And so I don't know, it's hard to like I don't know. It's hard to like hold on to thoughts lately, I guess. That's what I've been struggling with. I don't know if that's like schizoid or not.
and so it doesn't matter. It's something that I'm sure some people, if they listen to this, will understand. That watch this shit. Um, the there's something popped into my head. Yeah, like I found myself, especially when I was younger too. I found myself like having these like weird episodes where every time I would like go to bed, right, and it would be late, and I would go to
Hmm.
bed, and I would just be thinking about like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do, this is what's gonna happen, this is how I'm gonna do it, and,
Yep.
you know, I'm gonna take on the day. Watch me, like, and then I'll go to sleep, and I'll wake up, and I'll remember that, and then like go about my day, and then it's like waking up reminds me why like that was stupid to think, or I feel like I wake up and I go, that was stupid. Why was I thinking that? What an idiot.
I relate to that so hard.
Yeah, it's like the world. It feels like the world reminds you, like, oh, no, you were dreaming again. That was a dream. It's just stupid. Stop. It's not realistic. You're not gonna do it. Um, and then if you try to do it, like certain barriers of entry will make you like will be just disheartening. And just like, this is why. It's not gonna go anywhere. What was I thinking? What am I doing? Just go back to the grind. Just go back to it. Go back to the hole. Stop.
Sometimes I feel like sleep is something I have to like recover from in a way. I don't know if that makes any sense, but
Recover
like,
from, like, you're sleeping too much.
no, like I'll sleep, but in the mornings are just always bad for me, almost always. Like I really have like a morning where I wake up and like I don't feel like crap, you know? But like I don't know, be emotionally too. Like my thoughts will just be way more pessimistic sometimes. It's like that, and like in the morning at night sometimes.
Doug said another recent concept I've encountered recently is maladaptive daydreaming. Any thoughts on that? Oof. Yeah, there's plenty of that. I used to do a lot more of that when I was younger. I don't do it so much anymore. I don't know what happened, but that's all I fucking did when I was like in my 20s and my teens. Like it was just non-stop daydreaming, non-stop. Like, I would like from like every chance I got, I would put on like my headphones, put on like music I liked, and just go somewhere else. Just go sleep. Like all the time. It was like a very, very all the time thing. Some days I kind of wish I still had a little bit of that. Like I wish I could tap into it because it's a lot harder now. It's like my mind is too deep in the real world now to drink upon the waters of Lake Minnetonka again. So it's hard. It's hard to kind of not have as much access to those parts. But I also recognize how destructive it can be to someone's life. Like I'll think back. It's funny because you know now I'm old as shit at 40 now. Like I'll think back at how much time I spent like daydreaming about this and that, like in my 20s, and then I just like, what the fuck? Like I'm just like, what a goddamn waste of time. Like what the fuck was I doing? Like the stuff that I like now that I found stuff that I care about and want to do, like like now like I feel like I'm so behind now. I'm so behind on everything I could have accomplished that regarding things I actually give a shit about. But I was too busy fucking you know, staying up till 3 a.m. Daydreaming about my fucking Elder Scrolls Oblivion world shit and fucking LARPing by myself, headcanoning bullshit and video games I was playing, and fantasies I was like thinking about. It's fucking goddamn it. Okay, I feel like I was like, I don't know, like I was in a coma. It's like that's kind of how it feels. Like I was like, oh, I was in a coma for years, and you wake up and you like lost all this time. You're like, fuck. Like how long was I out? It's like, oh, you're, you know, all your teen years and your entire 20s and part of your 30s. It's like, oh, cool. It's like I was in a coma for 15 years. Sick. But my body still aged. And time still passed. Awesome.
Yeah.
That's how it feels. That's what I don't want the younger Zoids out there to have to deal with. I don't want them to have to do that shit. If they're in a coma right now, it's time to get out of it. Figure out how to get out of that fucking coma you're in. Work together, support each other, talk about it, come up with ideas, whatever the fuck. But that coma, you gotta wake up out of it. I understand why they're in a coma. I don't shame them for it. It's not a skill issue or weakness. It's just a set of circumstances that need to be addressed and dealt with. And I believe I have some of those answers. even if I'm just some armchair loser on the internet. And
Well,
trust.
can I ask, like, what was the process of like getting out of that coma?
It was hard.
Like, was it
Painful.
like something that happened very quickly, or did it happen like over a really long time?
In my case, it happened over a really long time, but I've since discovered that it doesn't have to, because like I made the same progress I made in like from age 30 to 37, 38 or something, like 37. The same progress I made in like 10 years, almost, like probably my late 20s too. I managed to do just as much, if not more, progress in 3 years. So that's crazy.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, like people might see me and they might think, "Oh, what do you mean? Inks is like depressed a lot and he's all fucked up." It's like, what do you mean he's a lot better? Trust me, I'm a lot better. um, but yeah, like it's kind of interesting. Like now I'm dealing with a different war at the moment in my head, which is like before it was the war of why don't I care about anything? Why am I empty? Now it's the war of okay, I feel stuff now. Like the void is being filled, but I don't know what to do. It's scary and confusing, and
Yeah.
I feel pretty like not alone in it, but there isn't too many like Zoids out there that have only a handful that I'm aware of and know that have gotten to this like point of feels like a point of no return when it comes to these issues. And like I can't go back to the little hobbit hole that I had made for myself. Like it just doesn't work anymore. Like even if I wanted to like somehow lock myself in there, yeah,
Yeah.
I couldn't like that. Like I locked that shit and threw away the key. Like I can't smelt any key. I don't know how. So now I'm dealing with like the great unknown, and it's crazy. It's crazy. But I mean, that talking like this is another problem. Like talking like the way I am right now, like it might just scare off like other schizoids are like, oh my god, that sounds terrible. Well, I'm just gonna stay here in my hobbit hole forever. So I'm like, yeah, I get it, I get it. But honestly, I mean, I just love the. I don't know, I love it. It's fucking tragic. The irony of like of I don't know. It's hard to explain.
Yeah.
Other people, other human beings, made me feel less empty now because they weren't trying to fill my void. They weren't trying to fill it. And the fact that they respected it and didn't try to fill it is what is filling it.
Yeah, he gave you that space.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. It's like encountering human beings that have their own voids and then them going, yeah, that's your void. I'm not going to tell you what to do with it. Is like what it helped so much. And it's so crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy that that's what.
Well, that's like how I've changed my advice. Like when I talk to schizoids on the server, is like I try to be more like think about what you want, but it's frustrating because it doesn't feel like it helps either. Because like from like one, I'm not in a position to like tell people like to like try to find like yourself because I don't know what the fuck I am or how to find myself like what I want. And so, but like at the same time, I feel like that's the only right answer I could give. because it's like, how am I gonna like tell someone what to do with their life, or like, oh, this is like the best idea you should do, it's like, well, it's up to you, I guess, but like, I don't know. But yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, I don't give a shit. That was good. No, yeah, I'm yeah, that's what's giving me like a lot of hope, a lot of stuff. Like it's so crazy, like me getting, um, like having those empty kind of unidentifiable parts of myself, uh, become becoming like a lot. Those becoming more recognized internally has like had an extremely positive impact on my ability to navigate my external life. Um,
Yeah.
like I've just gotten better at so much shit. Like I'm like I feel like I'm, even though like I wasn't terrible or anything like that, thankfully, I feel like I'm it's helping me be a better father, it's helping me be a better husband, it's helping me be a better human, it's helping me be a better advocate for this stuff, it's helping me be a better a lot of things. Um, my biggest barrier is like it's the whole the the mind is willing but the body is weak. That's my issue right now. My mind is willing but my body is just, it feels like it's so tired. Like my brain, when I say my body, I am kind of making like a metaphysical, silly woo woo kind of statement there, but yeah, like it feels like my brain is working against me at like trying to like make certain things happen and make certain things work. And, yeah, but it's just funny because like I don't know, it's not fun.
What do you mean? Like, I don't know. I mean that's something like I don't know why it even happens to me sometimes, but yeah, I do like I don't know if this is how you would describe it, but for me
Yeah.
a lot of times I do like end up sabotaging myself or just like I don't know, like subconsciously like finding ways to like screw myself over or like I don't know. It's hard when you feel like you can't even like listen to your own like
Gut.
needs, I guess. Yeah, or gut.
Well, like yeah, like it's one of those things that I've had issues, which is like because of my aversion to hope that I've developed over my lifetime. It can sometimes have a negative impact on my confidence and my decision making. So because like it'll make me unsure, constantly unsure of my own decision making and judgment, and that essentially foregoes or sabotages various opportunities. That lack in confidence in my own judgment about my external surroundings and other people, more specifically.
Yeah.
And that judgment.
Well, maybe it's because like for a lot of schizoids, our judgments about what we feel are kind of like inaccurate because we just don't have like the ability yet to always like connect with our emotions or like understand what they are or like what we're feeling.
Yeah, yeah. I used to
And
be
so
at odds with like my own emotionality because it's like I would feel stuff and then like I would like almost self-flagellate for feeling things. Like it would just be like, no, no, what are you doing? You don't care about this. You don't care about this shit. This is dumb. It's not efficient. It won't work. What are you doing? Why do you care about this? No. It's
yeah.
like it reminds me of like that trope you see in like um a lot of hero fiction or anime shit, whatever we stuff that I like, it is of like the character that's like he's like, well, he's trying to just survive and doing shit, and then like he sees something, and like he just telling himself like, no, don't get involved, don't do it, don't you fucking do it, just ignore it. You gotta put, sometimes you gotta put number one, you gotta put number one as a priority, and that's me, and all this kind of shit. Like you'll have these like you're just, like, it's like feels like you're coping for like the fact that like you're just not okay with not doing something about it. It feels like that, like but with emotions. If it feels like, oh, like I'll have, like, I'm like, what is this flood of feeling about something? Like, oh, this is stupid. What the fuck am I doing with this? This isn't helpful. This isn't gonna be. This is gonna lead to an irrational decision. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Shit like that. Or thinking, overestimating my like emotional wherewithal. It's that because like it still stacks, right? Like trauma and like all kinds of shit, like tragedy, trauma, distress, stress, all this shit, like it still stacks up, even if like you've become really good at keeping it at bay and keeping that shit just like your brain just got really good at just locking that shit out to the point where you can't even tap into it anymore, even if you tried. It's still like the damage is still being done like all the time from it. I think that's where a lot of like my years of panic attacks came from, because I couldn't even figure out why I was having them, or why they started. And I think it's just the brain. It can only take so much damage, even if you don't immediately feel it. It feels like one of those what is it, damage over time? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
like in a game, like it's like it feels like damage over time type damage, like a slow poison that you don't realize is killing you until like you only have 100 HP left, and you're like, oh, what the fuck? Where'd that come from? Like I've played games like that where like there'll be like some bleed status effect or something, and you're so used
and
to
you
like
wouldn't know unless you like didn't check like or whatever.
yeah, and like you're so used to like damage coming in chunks, or seeing that damage comes in chunks, and that some slow insidious poison or bleed that's just drip 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 drip, like you don't realize it's fucking eating you alive until it's like it's just around the corner of it doing so, and you're like, what the fuck, where did my life bar go, where did all my HP go, what the fuck is going on? And then you're like, you start doing like an internal inventory, right, of like what, and it doesn't make any sense, because you're like, nothing happened, what, I've been pretty chill, why the fuck do I feel incredibly anxious right now? Nothing's going on in my life at the moment, right? And it's like, and then when something really bad happens in your life, sometimes you're just like, you just feel empty and numb, and then it's just like, eh. Then you just go back and you play some video games, or read a book, or just go back to some whatever the fuck it is you do, and then you won't feel it till like 6 months later, when it stacks up with other shit that you numb out to. It never goes away. It really doesn't.
Yeah, you can only like run or hide for so long until it's.
You're not even intentionally hiding as a schizoid. You're not even like thinking about it. It just becomes like an
Yeah,
automatic thing.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, Duck. Invisible psychic damage. Like, yeah. It's like this fucking slow little drain. And then you're like, oh shit, I need the antidote. Oh, I didn't buy any antidotes. What the fuck? What am I gonna do? Oh shit, I'm gonna lose this run. I don't know. I didn't prepare for this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. Sometimes, like, when there are, like, a lot of people, like, the times that there's, like, 20 something people, or like 22, 23 people on streams I've had like that, and no, like almost nobody's typing anything except for like the same two people. Like I
Mhm.
wonder, like, and I checked to see are these bots, and it doesn't look like it. I wonder how much interesting information or thoughts I'm missing out on, because the very people I want to learn from the most are the people that won't say anything, and just the difficulty of that sucks.
I apologize for not having anything interesting to say usually.
And no, it's not
But
about
yeah.
God. Sarah, I'm gonna kick your teeth in with that kind of shit.
Okay.
Telling me, oh, sorry for being uninteresting. I'm like, you're fine, Sarah. It's just, I'm not talking about that kind of shit. I'm just talking about the lurkers that like
Fair.
that I don't care what they say. It'd just be nice to hear anything come out of there. And I can't, but at the same time, I can't get annoyed because I'm just like, well, it comes with the territory. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Because I would have been the same, like for sure. I would have been like, when I was 22, 23, 24, I lurked everywhere. I never posted a single fucking thing in any forums, in any boards. I didn't post shit during like early YouTube streams and people that I would follow. I didn't do any of that. Like I just lurked and lurked and lurked and lurked and lurked and lurked. That's it. That's it. And now I feel like I have people, the handful of people that do watch me, and the people that, probably the good majority that VOD does, because like I said, I'll get like 40 views on a stream or whatever, and then like 2 days later it'll say like 170, 180 views, and I'm like, all right, well, some people are watching it as a VOD, probably because of time constraints or time differences. But I'll even say like,
Yeah.
leave a comment, and it's like, I know I wouldn't.
Well, we got a
I
lot of
wouldn't.
people in
I wouldn't have
Europe.
left a comment back then either. So
Yeah.
like, and so
There's
like,
like a lot of people in Europe, like in the server.
yeah,
So
yeah. But what I'm saying is that like they don't leave comments. They don't like, and but like it's what is necessary. It's what is needed for me to like learn anymore, get things moving, have more engagement in the thing I care about and trying to do. But like at the same time, it's like I can't ask for it because that would be anathema to the very people I'm trying to help out. So it's stupid, man. I don't know how to find a solution to this. I've tried so many things, and there isn't one. So I kind of gave up on trying to find one. So it's better just to kind of just do
well,
what I'm gonna do.
when people would write in, I felt like it worked. I just, yeah,
Yeah,
it
well,
would work a
sometimes they
little bit.
don't. Like I put up a new question, I haven't got almost anything, and I'm
Yeah.
like, man, I thought it was gonna be like a fairly easy one to answer or to give something, but I just like I've talked to so many Zoids. They always tell me that they do the same shit where they're like, well, somebody else will. I'll let somebody else say, oh, why am I gonna fill in one of the things? I don't have anything to say. It doesn't matter. Blah blah blah. And then they
Yeah.
all do that, and then nobody does anything. It's like fuck, man. It's like a constant. It's like an endless.
It's always like, what's the point kind of attitude.
Yeah, or
So,
almost like an endless line of like rotating after you, after you, after you, after you, after you. Like, no, please go ahead. No, you, after you. It's like, and nobody wants to go. Fine, I'll go. Like,
and both people are trying to hold the door open for each other.
yeah, they're all just sitting there holding doors open. And nobody's going through them. Thinking, no,
Yeah.
no, somebody else has something more important to say. No, no, it's probably not the right thing
And
to
then
say
as soon
anyway.
as like,
No, no.
as soon as one person decides to go, everyone decides to go at the same time. So it's just like
Sometimes no, not at all. They'll just be like, "Oh man, look what happened to that guy. I'm not going."
yeah.
You know, and so, yeah, like, it's really weird. It's a really weird thing.
Yeah,
And
I
it's
don't
so
know.
weird. You know what trips me out too? One of the things that's just like, what the fuck? It we it's not that we don't even get new people in the server. We get applications like we get a few applications, and the people get in like a few times a week. Like
Hmm.
we got a good chunk of people just randomly coming in sometimes, and they'll we have a new application process, more thorough, so
Yeah.
we feel more confident about it now. And I'll see these like interesting applications, right? And I'll be like, oh, okay, that sounds like an interesting person. Like, that hopefully will contribute to the conversation in some regard. Even like, I don't care if they're just posting memes. Um,
Yeah.
or there's a few people that just like to write polls. They don't ever actually converse with anyone, or they just like write polls and just that's all they do. Or they vote on polls, but they don't do anything else. Like that's like the closest to
Hmm.
interacting that they do on it. And but like it trips me out that I'll have all these like people sort of join, and I almost never see them pop up in like anywhere on the server. I'm like, or they'll write. Sometimes they'll write an introduction, and then that's all they ever write. And I'm like, I know. I go like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, how do I? It's like trying to pull teeth, man. Like I don't know. Like I don't know what to do to like get a. How do you motivate the seemingly unmotivatable? Like,
Well, what motivated you to like even
anger.
converse with people?
That's why it's schizoid angst. It's
Uh,
anger. I mean, I started this because of anger. Anger fueled this crusade of mine. Anger started it. Frustration, anxiety, and anger. And like a desperate scream into the void. Yes, that is what started all this for me.
yeah.
And um, boredom too. Just the monotony of the kind of this. Am I the only human like me? I'm fucking bored of this. I need to talk to another human that understands how insane the world feels to me. And how absolutely just mind-numbingly um, boring it often feels to me, and why it does. And then you start seeing those people pop up, the ones that did comment, say something early on, and then I'm like, oh, because like I recognize this is like one of the earliest things I recognized was I was seeing the comments, and the comments were like, oh wow, like I never heard anyone like talk about this like that, like it's like a rant or a ramble. They're like, that's it's like you're taking the words right out of my head, like blah blah blah. And then I read that, and I'm like, I'm feeling what they're feeling by reading that. I'm like, oh shit, there's somebody understood this. And then they explain how they understand it, and I'm like, yeah, they actually do. And then I realize internally, I'm like, I think that was good. Like, I think that was a good thing. I think that made me feel a little less angry today. And so then I thought, wait, maybe everybody else can get that feeling. Maybe everybody else can do that to some degree or another, and so on and so forth. I mean, it's not going to fix
Do you think
everything. But
do you think schizoids, well, I guess when compared to other emotions, do you feel like anger would be like an easier emotion for them to access, or like a more
no, I
difficult
think that's
one?
kind of more unique to me. I would say like frustration and like ang- depression and anxiety, yeah, are probably easier. But like the kind of like if there is a proclivity toward anger, it's usually going to be like a very cold and quiet rage. Um, that's not going to really be the kind that you're going to see somebody ranting and raving and making any kind of gesture regarding, or something of that nature. But yeah, I know plenty of Zoids that are like, oh yeah, they can hone in on depression and sadness and anxiety, but they can't feel angry. And then other ones that,
This is like
yeah,
the thought that's like trying to like that needs to escape out of my mind is that like I think schizoids actually feel like a whole lot of emotion all the time, but it's just that the the stuff they like there's like certain emotions that they just don't access or connect to a lot of times. Like I don't know, like a lot of times you could just be dissociated and numb and not feel anything.
Yeah.
But I think schizoids actually feel more than like people think.
Oh
But
yeah.
it's
No,
just usually not
absolutely.
like the
100%.
passionate, excited, or like happy emotions. Rather, it's just like emotions of like dread or anxiety. You know, I don't know. I think loneliness, even though a lot of schizoids won't admit it.
Oh yeah. There's
So
definitely a lot of loneliness, but there's a lot of combating the, the perceived weakness of feeling alone. And when I mean alone, I don't mean like some people hear it and they think I'm talking about like, oh, I'm so lonely. I wish I had like a BF or a GM. You know, it's like it's more like it's a much more existential loneliness.
yeah,
It's like a like you don't even feel like you're a part of your own like species type of loneliness. Like
like
you don't have a right to
oh yeah, I mean
exist type
there's
loneliness.
schizoids that have like relationships, but it's all like surface level. Like you know, I mean, or I mean even like I don't know, they could have like prolonged romantic relationships
Mm.
even, or like have a lot of sex or whatever, and then just like none of it like really like
Clicks.
well it's just like part of their persona almost like
The way I would say is like it's kind of like even if you have somebody, um, and obviously thank God I this is not the kind of person I ended up with in the situation. I love my wife very much, but that's also because she's kind of she's not a schizoid, but she's a kind of more of an avoidant, dismissive um, personality, like attachment style,
mhm.
which is like really comfortable for me, or it was more comfortable to let me, you know, be comfortable with her. Um, is oh shit, what was I saying? I want to lose this thought. It was about shit. What was I saying? I'm losing my thought. Fuck. No.
I'm losing my thoughts too,
Fuck.
but
It was something like it felt valuable to say for some reason. Oh man, what was it?
you're talking about like love, like you do have love for your wife.
Oh
I
no
was
no,
talking
yeah
about
yeah
how
yeah. Okay, I got it. I got it. It's that like you could be with somebody, right? Like you know, you could be a schizoid with a girlfriend, a boyfriend, a best friend, or somebody that says they're your best friend, they care about you and love you and all this shit. Like you can have that in your life, and like the main problem, the essence of like the loneliness, you could still have all that and be incredibly lonely. And
yeah, exactly.
and the reason you're lonely, well, at least in my case, and the cases I often hear, is because even if they, you know, have all this positive emotion directed at you, it you feel like not understood by anyone around you, no matter how much they care about you. And I'm not even going to say they claim to care about you. They actually do care about you, like a lot. And it's just it that doesn't make up for the kind of existential sort of loneliness of yeah, well, what you're trying to give me and the way you're trying to give it to me, it's not what I need. I don't even know what I need. And also, but I know it's not that. Like the way you're trying to do it, it's not that. And then you feel guilty because you're like, what the fuck? Like this person, I could see if this is a sincere person. Like,
Hmm.
you know, this person sincerely cares about me. Like there's a bunch of people in my life that even now I think about that, like that and well that like you know people I used to talk to a lot more, people I used to like hang out with, people that like you know like I would just hang out with because they were people I did activities with and so on, right? And they grew attached to me, and um and I know it's sincere. It's not like some they're not doing anything cynical, right? It's a very sincere care they had for me, but because of the way they care about me, it just feels so incompatible and so just engulfing in weird ways, and intrusive in ways that like wouldn't make sense to anybody that probably isn't schizoid. um I can't receive it. I can't receive what they're trying to give me. I don't want it. um and it sucks because it's coming from like it's coming from a wholesome place. It's coming from a good place a lot of the times. I don't want it. I don't want it. It's like somebody giving you like a gift that, like, you know, their heart was in the right place, you know, but like, man, that is, I want, like, can I just, I don't want this thing, please. This is not how I want this.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's and
So you were given space, you connected with your anger.
Well, my past, that helped me connect with my past, that helped me connect with parts of my past that I just initially felt pretty ambivalent toward, or I thought had no meaning or purpose. But they did. They had significant meaning and purpose in my life. Coming to terms with that things that happen in my life actually have meaning and purpose internally. That's been tough to deal with, but it's been important. It's kind of like what I've been dealing with recently with what I was doing with my psych today. That's why it was such a rough it's such a rough set of sessions, because I'm doing like EMDR, but I'm also dealing with like trying to reconnect the better understanding I have about my emotions with my history of CSA. So that's rough. That's really rough. And also trying to like find ways to not yeah, there's just a lot of stuff that I went through and reacted to in my past and in my childhood because of a lot of CSA stuff that I'm finally, like, the memories are starting to make sense now. The actions, the behaviors are starting to make sense now. When before I was just like, yeah, whatever, it didn't matter. Like, it's fine. Like, it doesn't change anything. Like, that used to be kind of my attitude toward it. Just like, I felt kind of like, yeah, okay. It's a thing that happened. But yeah, just coming to terms with like certain aspects of it has been a really, really tough time. Ugh. It's been a really fucking hard time. I don't want to talk about that stuff. Like, I'm actually starting to have trouble. Before I could talk about that stuff and just be like, yeah, you know, this happened. Just kind of be like whatever about it. But like now I'm just like, I'm understanding when people say, oh, I don't know that I want to talk about that. I'm like, because now I'm actually feeling the things I'm talking about. That's a tough time. That's a tough time when you haven't trained for it, when you don't know how to manage it, when you don't have anything, you didn't have any tools for it, and now you're developing those tools. I mean, I'm a crash test dummy right now for this shit, so, and I'm kind of making it up as I go along, so I don't have a guidebook, you know? I'm hoping that, well, because, like, I'm doing so much, like, experimental work inside my own mind regarding schizoid stuff and issues, and putting myself in a lot of mentally precarious situations in order to, like, it's like exposure therapy, but not to people. I'm exposing myself to my emotions, and it's just like any other kind of exposure therapy. It is debilitating.
Do you
some
feel
days.
any like? Do you feel any potential that there's like a self-destructive element to it, or is it just?
Yeah, that's what I sometimes worry about that. Like, not that I'm intending self-destruction, but that like my obsession with attempting to find some kind of workable solutions that I can share with other people and find ways to
Mhm.
explain those solutions that I've been finding in ways that make sense, that my stupid schizo ass brain doesn't confuse. Um, like that's the kind of stuff that, like, it does kind of worry me that it could like potentially break me. Um,
Mhm.
but I'm also, another problem is that I have that personality type that um, I'm okay with that possibility as long as the outcomes are good. Like, so it's like, oh yeah, there's a certain point where it's okay if I break, as long as this
Well,
happens.
I've been having the same thoughts about like changing my career, and I'm just like, well, I don't really care about my life. I might as well just like sign or like train myself to become like a fireman or like do something dangerous, like join the military or like you know save people in like disasters or something like that. I don't know, but like I was like, I want to find a job that's like destructive, and that's something I've been like trying to think about because like I was talking to my therapist about this today. I'm like, I want like part of me is like really fascinated with like disasters and like hurricanes and fires and all this kind of stuff, and like part of me is like attracted to it, like not that I want people to get hurt or like I necessarily want the effects of the destruction, but like some part of me likes that. I don't know what it is, and I've been having to contend with that, and then like with the fact of like because I don't feel like my life is valuable to me, or like I'm not able to experience it. I'm just gonna like sacrifice my life and like go out
Is it
with
like
a
the
bang.
whole like, well, might as well give it to someone else, see if they can use it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
yeah,
like sort of.
yeah, yeah. Like,
Yeah.
I can't use it. Might as well let someone else do something with it. Like, or it might as well let it benefit someone else, even if it costs me my own. Because I ain't doing shit. Like, it's that kind of feeling. I can see that. I can vibe with that feeling a little bit. My motivation's a bit different, but I
Yeah.
understand. Still, I still understand what you mean. Like the stuff that I care about. Um, it becomes so all encompassing that like you almost feel like you want to volunteer to just like get like be one of the coals in the fire to get the fire stoking. Like, you're just
Mm.
like, yeah, well, this fire's got to get lit, or we're all gonna freeze to death. So I'll be one charcoal brick. Hopefully, other people will follow and be their own charcoal bricks, and then we can warm up this fucking house during winter. Um, but yeah,
I've been questioning. It's like, is that kind of like, is that even a path that I want, or is it like
I don't know.
something I'm just doing?
I don't know. I couldn't answer that. It's you. I
Well,
think.
no, I know.
Oh,
Like,
oh,
I'm
I thought
just
you were
like,
asking.
yeah,
No, you. That was just like a rhetorical kind of thing. Yeah, I got it.
yeah, sort of. I'm just like trying to
Got
explain
it.
it,
Yeah.
sort of. I don't know.
No, I got
I
you.
don't know if I got thought.
Yeah, I think I'm doing the same shit. Like, I'm doing. I think I'm. That's another conflict, right? Like, how much of what I do is like because I care about this, and how much of it is just like me. Like, one thing I told my psych today that I was just like, ugh, God, that sounds disgusting to say, was like thinking about the possibility that part of the reason, because of like a lot of my kind of abstract intuitive thinking, like a lot of my emotionality has been attached to concepts and ideas like unproductive suffering, and like it was sort of this idea of like, ugh, I hate talking about it. Like, what if I'm trying to like heal a little part of the world that I care about, because like I want to like heal something within myself type shit. So lame, and I hate it. But it's ugh, it disgusts me
Why is that lame?
because it just feels so just like I'm just like the rest of them. I'm just doing some like pretend act of selflessness for the sake of like alleviating my own agony. It's not even about the people I'm trying to help. Like I have like those kind of feelings, like that kind of like just disgust
Yeah.
myself. I'm like, ugh, God.
Oh yeah, I've literally had the same. Yeah, I literally. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's just I'm like,
Yeah, I completely understand that.
am I
Yeah.
just like the rest of these humans? Am I just another one of them? The very people that I don't even understand or thought I didn't understand. I'm just the same kind of fucking idiot that's just like
Well,
trying
I
to like,
often feel disgusted myself because I feel worse than like the average person. Like I'm just like, I'm like, like I feel like other people, like I don't know, like there's like I'm sure you've had those thoughts too. Like you question like, do I actually have empathy, or am I just like gaslighting myself into thinking I have empathy?
yeah.
And like really I'm motivated because of like I don't know, I'm like a sociopath or narcissist or something. Like I have those anxieties all the time.
The fact that you have them is a good sign that it's probably not the case. Um, but yeah. It's like this. Just going like just coming to terms with, oh, I'm actually like a lot of what I'm doing is not in some. There's some parts of me that I'm doing it for me, and it's really hard to come to terms with that. Like considering everything that I talk about and express, like it's just like, wow, is some like large part of what I do and I'm trying to do and the things I'm trying to get discussed, is it just about like trying to heal myself? Like, and then I feel like, am I using other schizoids to heal my schizoid issues? Am I exploiting them in some way? Like it's just like all these fucking weird thoughts that I'm managing them. I'm parsing out what is like more or less reasonable to think and not think, but
Hmm.
it's a tough time. Yeah. This is why I wish people would just show up here and just talk about other shit, because
Sorry.
no, you're good. You're good. I'm saying I would have ended up rambling like this about this stuff regardless. If it was just me sitting here, it would have probably ended up going in the same direction. And
Yeah.
I'm like, man, this shit must be so fucking boring and so fucking just stale by now.
It's really interesting to me. Like I don't know, like at least for me, like I feel like I don't know what you're saying actually like makes sense, a lot of sense to me.
I feel like I'm just sitting here streaming myself, like feeling sorry for myself or something, or like I'm just in a pity party and I like want everyone to join me in my existential pity party, and then I feel disgusting. Like I just feel like, what the fuck?
I don't feel like it's that. I feel like it's I don't know, we're just kind of like thinking about it. I mean like we can talk about something else, but
No, but
I
it
don't
just
know.
it feels like I'm constantly just going back to this existential pity party, and I don't want to waste my time with it. I want to waste my time actively trying to help the folks that are dealing with some of the issues that I'm dealing with. I don't want to just. I already wallow in my. Even if I don't intend to, most of the time, I wallow in my misery enough. Like I don't
But
see
like
how me doing this all the fucking time is going to be helpful to anyone. Like it's just.
well, I think it's helpful because like other schizoids can see like some of the thought processes that you've had to go through to get because like you said you've gotten better like over the
Yeah.
years and like your goal is like to help people get better and so
Yeah,
like they can
better than
see
me.
like
I want people to get better than me. Like this better is it's okay if you're like around my age. This is the kind of better you want. If you're in your 20s, nah, you guys have the potential for way better than this, way better than this. So I'm hoping to get way better at a reasonable rate. Um, you know, and I'm seeing the path there. I It's kind of like, imagine you can okay, how about this? Like, you charted a course, and you could see the path ahead of you, right? And you're like a cartographer, right? You're like, okay, this is where you go this here, this is the safe route, this is how you deal with it, this is how you traverse this, these are the kind of supplies you're going to need, whatever, right? And then, but at the same time, I feel like I'm the guy who figured out the path, but I don't know that I'm going to necessarily make it. I just know that like, my body's giving out, and I'm like, I'm not
Well,
literally.
how old are you?
Well, no, I'm not literally giving out,
Okay.
but I'm 40. But but if I feel like I'm fucking, after all this life, I feel like I'm fucking 70 years old, and I'm sure some of you guys know what I mean. You feel a lot older than you actually are, and I feel like it feels like I'm like scrawling some notes along the way and leaving like little clues and hints, and like, eventually, like, my body's gonna give out, and I'm gonna be like, here are my notes. I truly do believe this is the way forward, but I couldn't make it. Like, take this and do what you can with it, and just like, that's how it feels. Like, that's how it
Well,
feels. Like it's gonna, like, I hope that's not what ends up happening to me, obviously, but
what
yeah.
direction, like, you? Because I feel like, well, yeah, like you could lay out a path, but like it's not like we're finding like a gold, or like trying to find like hidden treasure or something, or like the key to like unzoiding. Because like I feel like a lot of these things are just like on a spectrum of like how healthy you can become.
Yeah,
And like,
I want people to be the healthiest version of somebody that had or has schizoid personality disorder they can be.
yeah.
Yes, I want that. The healthiest version of that, even if it ultimately means, like, I don't know. Like,
So it's like,
my best case
what didn't
scenario
you make
is
it
I'm
to?
gonna
Like,
be
what?
like,
So like in that case though, like what didn't you make it to? Like, what
um
was the checkpoint, that like the specific one that?
getting to the end of a life where I feel like I did enough, or feel a sense of fulfillment, or something like that. Like, some kind of fulfillment, some sense of fulfillment at the end of a life, or,
Hmm.
not like,
Well, that's
not
tricky.
getting
Yeah.
the visual novel bad ending, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I think that's.
so
I think that's fine. Yeah.
like, I'm not saying I need the great ending. I just don't want I'll take I'll take the good ending. I don't need the true ending. Um, if you know visual novels and games like that, but like, I just yeah, my goal is, like, my realistic goal for myself is the following: uh, get both my kids, raise them healthy, get both my kids to an age where they could take care of themselves. Don't let my mental health problems destroy my wife's life. um and so that's like basics, like necessities in my mind, for like minimum okay ending. um and then third would probably be like, actually manage to do something worthwhile that I'm able to understand and accept as being worthwhile, toward the goals that I'm working toward the schizoid stuff that I care about. That would be like good ending. Uh, Yeah, that would be pretty good ending. Um, if that's all I get accomplished by the time you know, hopefully pass away from natural causes. No one never knows what happens. But yeah, that would be good ending. And that's good enough for me, but I don't want that to be good enough for like I feel like if a schizoid gets an early enough start, and they have some paths and support and stuff and people that can actually understand them, and they don't live through like 2 decades of existential emptiness and loneliness, um, that they could probably end up with a better ending than even the best hopes I have for myself. Um, so yeah, that's
Yeah.
kind of how I feel about it. I just like, uh, like for me, the unrealistic great ending, like that I could have, is that I do the things that I said, and then to get the good ending, and then actually like live out my last decade or whatever of life thinking I'm comfortable with this, I'm comfortable with what I was able to do, I'm comfortable and glad for the decisions I made, and ultimately I am more happy than miserable about my own and general human existence. That would be a great ending. That I don't think that's achievable for me, but that would be a great ending. That's like a fantasy.
Yeah.
So that's like my little internal fantasy. It felt really gross sharing it.
Well,
Ugh. What do you mean, why? Do you have to ask that? Please.
oh god.
Forget parent.
I mean, whatever.
Sorry. It's just, ugh, I'm uncomfortable now. Yeah, if you don't want a pity party, guys, on Thursdays, please be sure to bring up suggestions for topics, from philosophy to spirituality to STEM to film, culture, video games, and whatever the fuck it is you want to bring up to the table. I am down to talk about anything nerdy and weird. Everything from, weird science to the paranormal. I like all that kind of fun stuff. So Thursdays is perfect for just random topics. If you want to talk about your own psych stuff, your own issues, trust me, I prefer to talk about your issues more than I want to have these goddamn pity parties about myself. Right? Every single time. So, So yeah, if you want more than just this on a Thursday, then please bring something to the table for me, if you can. If not, then yep, it's probably what you're gonna keep getting. But luckily on Saturdays and on Tuesdays, I usually come with a topic in mind, and I try to stay kind of set on that topic. So so Tuesdays I'll have like something that I'm going to specifically talk about and discuss and see if anybody else wants to. And then Saturday I usually just tackle the schizoid question of the week, or the Dear Inks question of the week that's on the server. The current question, and I would really appreciate it if you answered it to the best of your ability. Trust me, I don't give a shit what you say, as long as you say something. It's interesting. The question that I posited, and I know sometimes people, like, I know how us zoids be like this. We see a question about ourselves and we're like, oh, well, what about this, and what about this context, and what about, and I don't know. Yeah, I get it. But the question that I posed, and if you don't, even if like you, the question, the implication of the question is that you have to feel this or agree with it to say something. You could just say something if you disagree with it or it's just not your experience. I asked, do you find your emotions or affective empathy become that much harder? God, I can never spell when I write because I do it on my phone. I really gotta stop doing them on my phone. That much harder to reach when physically near or engaged with another person. Has it been helpful? Has it been detrimental? I would like anecdotes. So the questions about like does physical proximity affect your ability to like feel your feelings or feel empathy for something? Like, do you have an easier time, like, I don't know, uh empathizing with something that's like, you know, you see on the news or you see someone discussing or going through, but you're not, they can't, there's no like, they can't perceive you, they can't perceive you perceiving them, but then you have an easier time kind of feeling shit and stuff than if like that person was in front of you saying the same exact things, feeling the same exact ways. When you're miserable, right? Say you're having like an actual time by yourself that you're like feeling shit and you're like, you're actually like going through some shit and it's not just, you know, feeling kind of numb and stuff. And then the moment like somebody else gets home or somebody else comes into the room or somebody else engages with you, it like just, it all goes away. Like it all just goes like, you know, emergency protocols, no feeling, like, does it like feel like you don't even consciously do it? Because that's my experience. Um, like, it's weird. But I just want to know if you guys have similar experiences or anything like that. And if you want to answer that, it's in the Dear Yank section of the server. You just got to be a schizoid on the Zoid Void. If you're not already a part of the server, please apply if schizoid is something you're either diagnosed with or you feel really strongly might be the case. LMT, feeling proximity makes it so I can't feel feelings. I feel deeply alone. Well, there you go, LMT. I would like, you know, but if you can't get your ideas out on the server on Saturday, then right here on the stream, hearing anecdotes or thoughts on that matter, that's the kind of stuff I want to see on Saturday. Please give me content so that I don't waste everyone's time feeling sorry for myself. Like, anyway, thanks a lot for joining me as usual. Thanks for being here. And if anybody, well, you know what's, somebody brought this up to me a while back. I hang out in this section on the server that says Inks likes awful media, and it's usually like I'm either playing games or watching something or just doing whatever. But I don't expect anybody to necessarily watch what I'm doing, do what I'm doing. They can just kind of talk to me about whatever while I'm doing my deal. But somebody brought up to me that me saying, "Hey, you're welcome to join me. I don't care. You can leave and come and go as you please. You could just lurk if you want. I don't give a shit." Me saying that automatically would make most kids always go like, "Oh no, well that's like being a part of something," and like I don't. They'll probably either feel like, that's weird, like I don't have any right to be there, or they'll think, "Oh no, that might make people think I'm gonna keep coming back or something," and like shit like that. So so then like I don't know how to win that. It's pretty funny. The reason I want people to join me there while I'm there is for the possibility that it might bring them some distraction, or it might create possibilities for a fun conversation about something, or it might make for some laughs, because sometimes funny shit happens or funny shit's said. Or it can be informative, or it can be nothing. It could just literally be people just parallel playing. I think that's one very healthy thing schizoids can do with other people, or even other people that are schizoid, is parallel play. It's a really good one. If you don't know what that means basically both people gonna do their own thing, They may be in the same VC. Obviously, they're probably not going to be in the same room, but it's definitely a possible thing that somebody could do. And you just kind of do your own thing, and then occasionally, you reach over the aisle and you go, "Hey, check this out," or "Oh, that's kind of cool," or "Oh, I've been reading about this," or "Oh, I'm interested." And then that might spark a small conversation and go back to kind of just, your own activities or whatever. That kind of stuff can be really healthy, I think. Really good. It's like small steps. All right. I'll be there. I'm probably gonna grab something, drink and snack or something. But I'll see you guys. As usual, when day is dark, always remember happy day. And I'm gonna play us out with a tune. Yeah, I think I'll do that today.
I can feel the hands touching me. All these things into position. All these things are one day swallow whole. This machine will not communicate these thoughts and the strain I am under. We watch out, form a circle before we all go under. all this thing